Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about how I spend my NSF income every single month. So before I begin this video, let me just give a heads up that everyone's pay is different. My pay differs from other people's pay because we have different roles, we come from different vocations, and we have different risk pay. I won't be revealing how much I earn. I'll use 100% as my salary. Every month, I would take out 50% of my incomes for investment, 30 to 35% for savings, remaining 15 to 20% for spendings. So first of all, let's start off with investments. Straight after getting my pay, I'll take 50% of my income and put it in interactive brokers. And there are a few things that I focus on when investing. The first thing is investing in what you know. Basically, by Warren Buffett, he mentioned that invest in your circle of competence, things that you have a lot of knowledge about. For example, who their competitors are, what are their unique selling points. So if you're very confident in the companies because you're so knowledgeable about them, then I would say that you can show more interest in investing in companies like this. For me, I invest in companies like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, because I know that these tech companies are companies that will really go through the rain and companies that people still use even in crisis. Next, never compromise on the business quality. Warren Buffett said it is far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. To me, a good indicator or measure of business quality is to use the ratio ROIC, return of invested capital. The higher the returns on invested capital, it tells us that the more productive a business is, and this tells us that the quality of the business is definitely much more superior. And next thing, I would often ask myself when I buy a stock, am I willing to hold this particular stock about 10 years? Every trader or investor is very different. Some of them have a very short-term outlook. But for me, I believe that the longer I stay in the stock market, the more profitable I will be. For example, we have two businesses. For example, business A and business B. And we have man A and man B. For man A, he invests, he hears the noises of how great this business A is, pays an interest fee to enter business A. Then he hears noises again.
We had a turning point, headed for a recession.
Storm clouds of recession looming, and the storm is really coming.
With inflation at a 40-year high, a recession is almost inevitable.
Economic crisis, COVID, recession, and he gets all nervous. He decides to sell his investments and pays another exit fee. Man A walks out of business A losing more money than he actually invested. As for man B, he knows full well of the company that he's investing in. He knows that they provide solid customer service, and he knows that even in times of crisis, from previous history or records, this company has proven over and over again to overcome recession. And he puts his money even though the noises out there are very negative. He sees that the company is taking actions, taking effective measures to ensure that the company is able to float, to stay afloat, to survive through this crisis. And over a long period of time, he earns more money because his money inside invested at the start starts to compound. The longer you keep your investments, the fewer fees you have to pay. So a lot of the times, right, there's so much noises on news. Close out all these noises, ignore all these news and reports. I just put my money solely into the companies that I am confident in and invest in the long term. So next, the question is, what kind of stocks do you invest in? There are two main stocks that I invest in. Firstly, VTI and VOO. So VTI has up to 3,900 stocks. It has the entire investable US equity in just one stock. When you're investing in VTI, it's extremely diversified across all the sectors, and you can say that your risk is a little bit lower because it is spread across a large industry. Next, the stock I invest is rather similar to VTI, but it's a little bit more risky because it has about 500 stocks in that one stock. So instead of 3,900, it has 500 stocks. For example, Apple, Google, Amazon. So these companies have bigger weightage in VOO because there are lesser stocks. VTI is about $207 and VOO is about $378. 50% of my pay doesn't even allow me to buy this entire stock itself. So the amazing thing about Interactive Broker is that it allows you to buy fractional shares, which means that you can buy a portion of the share and not pay the whole thing to just buy the whole share. If you're curious also about Interactive Brokers, you can also check out the link in the description below. The key to investing in long is that you have to be consistent, and this strategy that I implement is dollar cost averaging. Basically, every single month on a specific date or time, you just put in your money and then you just invest without thinking too much. For 30 to 35% of my money, I put it into savings. So whenever my savings reach around $500 to $1,000 in my own saving account, I will take this portion of money and I put it into Singapore saving bonds. So if you are curious what Singapore saving bonds is about, you can click on the link below in the description. A few pointers that I identified is that you can invest as little as $500. Next, you can withdraw any given month without penalties or extra charges. If your money is going to be in the bank, which I used to do that every single month, then I might as well just be putting it in Singapore saving bonds when I can earn up to 3% of interest rate every single year. And another thing that I do is I don't put everything in Singapore saving bonds, of course. I put a fair portion of it still into my own saving accounts, because in the event of an emergency, I can take out my money from my saving account, so I don't have to be too worried that I cannot take out immediately from Singapore saving bonds. Next is spending. To me, I feel that it is very important for you to be aware of how much you spend. So you need, for example, an app tracker, expense app tracker, Excel spreadsheet which my friend uses to keep track of how much money you spend, or even going into your POSB account or your bank account to just see how much you spend. I feel like a lot of people do not have the sense of awareness when it comes to spending, and they just spend. And before they know it, every single month they're spending up to 40 to 50% of their income. The self-realization that my spending, and actively ensure that my spending is kept within my budget. For me, I used to be someone that would save at every single opportunity, because I have the mindset that I could use that money that I've been spending to invest and I could earn more money in the future. But I soon realized three things. I stumbled onto an article by Woke Salaryman, which tells us that focus on value and not on price. And this was also something that Warren Buffett said. For me, when I put the money and buy something that is the cheapest, the kind of quality and that I get back from that particular product will not be the best, because things that are more expensive are mostly better quality. For example, a car. If you buy a very cheap car, more damages, more repairment, but invest in a good quality car, means that you have better comfort, better quality, better speed. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Sometimes it's okay to spend a little bit more to get more value. Number two, it's worth spending money on experiences. To me, I always saw experiences as rather short term. For example, if I go bungee jumping, it's just 1-2 seconds and it's over. To me, experiences and materialistic things seems to be the same, until I stumbled onto a video about why money can buy happiness. But when you invest in experiences, you are able to recount that experience that you used to have over and over again while you relay that story to other people. And that gives you a sense of happiness and satisfaction every time you share it with other people. Invest in experience and not so much on materialistic things. Next, I used to be someone that is very cheapo, as I said. If a particular product is $1 or $2, I would even hesitate and say, actually, let me just save that $1-2. The thing that makes the difference is not saving $1-2 every single time that you have. Key thing is, if you can earn so much money that far outweighs how much money you spend, obviously controlling your spendings, then it makes the spending that you have quite insignificant. Hence, it is more important to think of strategies and ways of how you earn your money, how you generate different sources of income. To me, I've seen so many people in my NSF journey that doesn't keep track of how much they spend, are not wise in the way they allocate their money. And I think it's super important for us to start now in national service, because if we don't start now, when are we going to start? So if you start now, you start early while you're getting paid, then you will be able to have a better relationship with money as we progress to university and even when we become an adult. So with that, I've come to the end of my video. I hope that this video has been insightful for all of you guys, and with that, I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.